evening, pot pickers. Good evening, good afternoon, good night. Good golly, Miss Molly. It's 10 p.m. here in the U of K, and it's 2 p.m. in Pacific time, and God knows what it is anywhere else. Hail Cosmic, hail D-Bad, hail Lord Thoth, hey Courtney. Oh, you guys are here, and I'm touched. Thank you. A nice cup of tea. Here I am in my final night back in the ancestral homeland. They're out there right now, the clan, doing the traditional debagging, the deflowering of the haggis, whilst they're gathered round the deep fat fryer, deep frying the Mars bars, all that good traditional stuff. And here I am, yet another hotel room with yet another dodgy Wi-Fi. So who knows how this will go. So far, it seems to be working. I'm watching you guys on the chat on my tablet, and I get the laptop here. I will do my best to highlight comments as we go. We have, as I say, we have our good friend Lord Thoth. We have D-Bud Martin. A moose once bit my sister. I think that's very Monty Python. Alright, good times are here again, bro. Well, I certainly hope there's some good times. And of course, as we know, Yvonne lives. Spoiler alert. Or is it? I'm hoping Clobbering Times does the get round to doing the Blake 7 stuff, because I'd be writing for that. We have our good friend Cosmic Squirrel. We got the wonderful It's Courtney, who Courtney I'll be back home soon. And I think we said maybe next Monday we'd do get you on and let's do a little bit of music chat. And we have also the very wonderful LDG. Good evening to you, sir. Good afternoon, good evening. And the very, very wonderful Captain Marty Spock. So, great to see you guys. Thanks for joining. What time is it in your neck of the woods, Captain? It must be like, God, I don't know, it's 10 p.m. here in the UK, so God knows what it is for you. But So as I say, the last night here in the ancestral pile. Tomorrow I got to negotiate my way through the millions of regulations to get back into the People's Republic of Kazakhstan. The maple, to get behind the maple curtain. They may not want me back. May not. I may hold unsuitable views. I mean, who knows? And I'm not going to get political, but
like keep on trucking.
On trucking?
Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking, Chief.
Concentrating on trucking right.
As if I would ever want to stop trucking.
So no, nothing political there, but you know, who knows? So yeah, it's yes, they may not let me back in. And whilst we've got Captain Spock here, Captain Spock, I definitely think you and I are going to do on this show in a week or two, a couple of weeks maybe, we'll do a why is there something and not nothing stream. I'm feeling like it's time we address the eternal verities, you and I, so hopefully you'll be up for that, and we can go at that. So it's 11:11 in New Zealand. Yeah, so as I say, nothing. There's nothing political, but they might just not let me back into Kazakhstan.
That diesel trucking, just eastbound down, loading up and trucking.
Come on, keep on trucking.
You're about to come up on a convoy.
This is not a convoy. This is a dream.
No idea why they wouldn't let me in, but you know, it's nice to have something to be proud of being Canadian for, other than Rush. So, yes, but yeah, it will be sad to say goodbye to Scotland, because obviously I've got back into some of the old habits.
Kilts, tea towels, toasters, all with the clan coat of arms, of course.
It feels good when you're wearing kilts.
Well, put that in your kilts and smoke it.
I do wear something under those kilts, but it's easy to get off.
It certainly is. Yeah, I will be. I'm only taking, other than the times, the memories of the great times I spent with my daughter and my grandchildren, the bairns, which has been fantastic. And that wonderful Scottish weather, where it's, wait 20 minutes and it changes. You get wind, you can get rain, you can get sleet, or you can get all three, all at the same time. I will be taking back one rather nice bottle, because it's all they'll let you take, of Ben Romick. This is the Cara Gold Malt Ben Romick. It's a new bottling of a different Ben Romick, so that's my malt of choice to take back with me. Not touching it right now because I don't mind drinking while flying. I just don't like getting on the plane with a hangover. So if it's not Scottish, it's crap.
Wow, blow my bagpipes.
My Roddy told a joke about an octopus and a set of bagpipes.
Playing bagpipes gets hit in the nuts by low-flying seagull.
Oh, they're as real as the tartan in my kilt.
Sir, nothing on all that Scottish chart and plaid you seem to enjoy so much.
Extra points if you name the last show. I'm sure you all know what it is. So, what are you guys talking about? Well, it's indeed, if it's nae Scottish, it's crap. Low spec Linux laptop. Good to see you, my friend. Oh, Bandit, yes, it's had to have some trucking from Smoking the Bandit and a Cannonball Run when there too. So Tom, I didn't. Tom drops in from time to time, and he will appear on this show again for sure. Courtney, yeah, let's do something. But yeah, you and Captain Spock are high on the list of special shows to do. It was indeed Letterkenny, fantastic Canadian show, which makes, if you watch Letterkenny, you get a much better idea of the real Canada, not the Justin Trudeau Canada. So let's say that, Anyway, last week I played some music by Andy Stewart, old-time Scottish star. It was a bit of a fun song, Donald Where's you didn't win nothing, you won my eternal admiration, Thoth, which you had anyway, so how could you've got double the admiration. I played a song last week by Andy Stewart, and this week I'm going to play something and hopefully won't get copyright struck. I didn't, I just got copyright claimed, which is fine because I don't do this for money. Well, not yet anyway. Mark D with the C, my friend. So anyway, this week I'm going to play a fantastic old-timey hit from 1958, which is more mock Scottish. It's mockish as opposed to real Scottish, but it's still very amusing. So this is the Lord Rockingham's 11, and the Moose. This was the state of British rock and roll in 1958. Let's hope you can hear and see this okay. You all to sing along. Well, it's 100. Nice. There's a moose. There's a moose about this moose. Skip you a little, so key change. Oh, very that man members of those. Moving like Nick. So that keyboard player really knows how to handle welding. It's a big organ, that. Mr. Hammond, it's a big organ. I mean, come on. Is that not great? Are you not entertained? That's British rock and roll in 1958. Um, well, you see, Courtney, yes, the key change. It's always a good idea to go up at the end, you know. Beatles were good at that. They got up, or ABBA, they were great at going up a key in the last, just for the last verse. Except when the Beatles did it when they went down a key. When a couple of the songs did that, that was Penny Lane does that. It's very different. So yeah, 1958 British rock and roll. If you were in the swinging London in Soho in 1958, that's possibly an outfit you could have seen in one of the clubs, Lord Rockingham's 11. I don't think there was an actual Scottish person in there, but you know, still a cute song. It's funny, and I do think the keyboard player was very attractive. I've actually seen her in a couple of documentaries in recent years about British rock and roll. She was still certainly still on the go a couple of years ago. So you know, good for her. But so speaking of on the go or not on the go, again, when you get to that age where you know all your heroes are certain age, we start to lose people, and of course, as we all know, we lost today the very fantastic and wonderful. And excuse me if I fiddle about here a bit. Ivan Reitman died at 75, and a lot of shows are obviously covering this. But you know, I wanted to talk a little bit about him because many of his directed and produced films of the late 70s and early 80s are actually a huge influence on me. Like Animal House is one of my top 10 favorite films of all time, without a doubt. I mean, that movie, I can quote it verbatim. I absolutely adore that movie. It's just one of the funniest things ever. I don't know why it gets me so much. When you can, you know, it's something ever since I saw that movie in the cinemas, I've absolutely adored it. And, you know, he brought, I like what his children here say. You know, we take comfort that his work as a filmmaker brought laughter and happiness to countless others around the world. While we mourn privately, we hope those who knew him through his films will remember him always. And absolutely, this is the kind of filmmaker that we sadly are losing due to age. Luckily, his son's a pretty good director too. And he's known, whilst he's known for all these comedies, he actually didn't really particularly start out there, although he has been associated for many years. Well, I guess I should rewind. So he's a Canadian, as it were. His parents survived Auschwitz, moved to Canada when he was 4 after the war, and he grew up in Canada, went to university in Canada, started out in Canadian television, and he was very closely associated with and Darth's mentioning heavy metal. He produced that film, and I think that's fantastic. I love that movie. I love a lot of the songs in it. So it's not something people necessarily know that he produced. But starting out in Canada on TV, he had a long association with the guys like Eugene Levy, who he made a number of early films with as a producer and writer. Catherine O'Hara as well. The SCTV gang, although he was never directly connected to that show. So John Candy, Rick Moranis, and Andrea Martin, Joe Flaherty, Martin Short. But Eugene Levy was a long time friend and collaborator on things, and of course he knew Danny Aykroyd very well as well, and he knew all those guys too. So he was very much part of that Canadian scene, and his earlier movies, and I'm just going to refer to IMDb here because obviously my memory is an old man. A lot of the earlier stuff was actually quite more in the horror mode. Excuse me a sec, I'll just check something. So he worked with David Cronenberg, who's one of my favorite directors. Shivers, he produced Shivers, which if you've ever seen is just an absolutely amazing horror movie. The House by the Lake, which is an Ontario-based horror. Rabid, another Cronenberg. They were just fantastic low-budget horror movies like Cannibal Girls that he executive produced and wrote. It's not great, but it's different. You can certainly tell it's filmed in Canada because of the snow. But so very much a different thing from what he became, which obviously as he moved into directing, producing some really incredibly successful comedies, where he introduced us all really to the movie-going audience to Bill Murray. Like Meatballs, which I remember seeing at the cinema before anybody in Britain had really particularly heard of Bill Murray. And then Stripes, which I absolutely adore. And then, of course, Ghostbusters, and Ghostbusters 2, a huge legacy with those. Kindergarten Cop, Dave Jr., a lot of the Arnie stuff, Twins. So really some fantastic comedy material, which, I mean, these are legendary movies. Stripes, Animal House, Ghostbusters. It's a great thing to have in your lifetime resume. And then, as Darsky Poo pointed out, Heavy Metal, the producer of Heavy Metal. And in more recent years, less directing, more producing, but he did direct Draft Day, which to me is an excellent movie, excellent sports movie, one of the best ones, I think. But he did dip back into some Canadian stuff with Trailer Park Boys. So let me just stop sharing that for now. So yeah, a very sad loss. I think when I get home, I'll be digging out physical copies of Animal House and Stripes and other movies like that and watching them again in tribute. I'm getting that J.J. lens flare here. Sorry. So what a great loss, what a great guy. Yeah, Stripes, I remember going to the cinema to see that with a bunch of my military buddies. I was in the military at the time, and we just had the greatest laugh. It was just incredible. Brilliant movie, of course, Harold Ramis in that, and also the Ghostbusters connection. So we've lost him. There's a lot of these guys are slipping away, and it's very sad. So, but he did some great stuff. So we will remember him for that, and we will pay tribute to that. Hail, Darius, brother. You're obviously welcome to pop in any time, and if you didn't mind slipping the link through your connections to Captain Spock, then Captain Spock, you're welcome to jump in at some point in today's show too. Yeah, R.I.P. Oh yeah, Sean Young was in Stripes. She was good. Yeah, Meatball, Stripes, love this stuff. So R.I.P. Ivan Reitman. Sadly missed already. And obviously that big Canadian connection, which is something to be proud of as a Canadian. And, it's good as a Canadian to have something to be proud about right
like
now.
keep on trucking.
On trucking?
Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking, Chief.
Concentrating on trucking right.
As if I would ever want to stop trucking.
That diesel trucking. Just eastbound and down. Loading up and trucking.
Come on, keep on trucking.
You're about to come up on a convoy.
This is not a convoy. This is a dream.
Yeah, Canadian. Don't know. It's very Canadian somehow, that, even though it isn't. It's weird. But there has been Ivan Reitman obviously passed away, but there has been another gentleman passed away that I might, when I get home and I get settled back into my studio, I'm going to make a little video about, and that was the sad passing of Ian MacDonald, who prog rock and rock fans may know of through at least two major bands, very different bands, but he was involved with the founding of, first one being King Crimson, second one Foreigner. So Ian MacDonald sadly passed away, lost to cancer a few days ago. He was at the start of King Crimson with Robert Fripp and Greg Lake and Michael Giles, Pete Sinfield, who wrote a lot of the lyrics, of course. So Court of the Crimson King, he played on. He was a multi-instrumentalist, played saxophone and other wind instruments, keyboards, sang, played guitar, he could pick his any instrument up, and he did a lot of the solos, the sax solos and keyboard, played all the keyboards in Court of the Crimson King. So his son wrote, deeply sad to tell you that my father passed away yesterday from cancer. He was incredibly brave and never lost his kindness or his sense of humor, even when the going was rough. My father was a brilliant, intuitive musician, a gentle soul, and a wonderful dad, and he will live on forever through his beautiful music and the love of his fans. Thank you all. So King Crimson, and that particular album, The Court of the Crimson King, is like a landmark in prog rock with just incredible dense sound, the scope of the lyrics, and fantastic discordant sound almost in many of the songs. It certainly expanded the rock almanac, as it were, of sounds. Quite a groundbreaker. I've never been the hugest of King Crimson fans, but I do have the Court of the Crimson King because it's just such a great, groundbreaking record. And Robert Fripp, who we will come back to in a minute, in a post on the King Crimson website, Robert Fripp noted Ian brought musicality and exceptional sense of the short and telling melodic line and the ability to express that in a variety of instruments. Now, something I didn't know until I was reading the tributes was that he actually played on T-Rex's 1971 hit Get It On, Bang a Gong, which is one of my favorite 70s records. I absolutely love that song. And then he was picked, or Mick Jones of Foreigner, who was forming Foreigner, said he specifically wanted Ian MacDonald to join because he had left King Crimson after Court of the Crimson King, did a few things, and so he helped found Foreigner in 1976. And it seemed like it at the time that would have been a weird choice, given that Foreigner were more of an AOR, straightforward rock band, but he brought a lot of prog rock keyboards and saxophone elements to it. Did a lot of producing, co-producing, and arranging, and he was on the first 3 Foreigner albums, which had a lot of hits in them. So, and he has in the last 2 years played in some of the Foreigner reunion gigs. So it's nice to see him on stage with the rest of the original band again. And Steve Hackett here of Genesis has also paid tribute to him. They worked together a number of times. So, yeah, sad loss. He was a great guy. So let me just, go back to these articles. So I may not have shared that. My apologies. So yeah, Ian MacDonald. Yeah, it's not enough to found one groundbreaking band, but to found another hugely popular rock band, Foreigner, is also a fantastic tribute. So yeah, great guy. I never had the chance to see him live with Foreigner because when I first saw them on the 4 tour, he'd already left the band. But he'd said you can hear him certainly in some of the keyboard stuff on the earlier Foreigner albums. He's all over that. So, and alto sax specialist as well. So, anywho, but while I'm on the subject of King Crimson, let's see how you guys are getting on. So, yes, I didn't know he was on Bang a Gong by T-Rex. I'm assuming he was playing sax, So, oh, sorry, yes, I So we're about to have a special guest joining us. He's actually always a special guest, and he's always a guest because he's my YouTube day one buddy. I even somewhere in this morass of things used to have. Oh yeah, here it is. So someone's about to join us.
That's popcorn.
Buttered popcorn.
Popcorn chicken, come on!
It is indeed the very wonderful Darius Munchausen.
Hail, my brother.
Hail, brother. How are you?
I'm actually having a pretty not bad day so far.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I know you were a bit tired last week at this time, but clearly things are looking up.
Yeah. Well, I have trouble sleeping, but I was able to get some sleep, so I'm feeling
Good.
refreshed.
Glad to hear it, my friend. You're refreshed for another marathon YouTubing day.
Well, I think I might do something with Lady Munchausen later, and maybe I'll either do like a power hour or I'll just wait till tomorrow.
She never mentioned it to me.
Oh, now I know why she keeps trying to get me to shave my head.
That's right. And speak with a weird accent. Speaking of weird accents, hang on.
Yes, do you have haggis?
Don't just play with your haggis.
My stomach is filled with haggis and haggis.
Well, they're probably looking up a plate of haggis in the...
I have to play that again just for the Nick Cage, so listen carefully.
Haggis!
Yes, do you have haggis?
Don't just play with your haggis.
My stomach is filled with haggis and haggis.
Well, they're probably looking up a plate of haggis in the...
Just the Nick Cage one.
Awesome.
Just gold. I think that's from, what was that sub Harrison Ford thing he did? The adventure thing.
Indiana Jones?
No, yeah, but it was Nick Cage's version of that.
National Treasure.
That's it, National Treasure. I think that's from National Treasure. I don't remember that when watching the movie, but I found that clip. I guess it's So I want to show you something, and it's going to blow your mind, and that sounds like a line from a song. But anyway, I'm going to share my screen again. God knows if this will work. It's in the endless.
No, I know a line in a Tenacious D song where he says, "I did not mean to blow your mind. This type of shit happens to me all the time."
That's right. That'll be it. I'm going to have to think of that. There's another one. So we mentioned King Crimson and Robert Fripp. So Robert Fripp, as well as still being a prog rock musician, has got almost like the prog rock version of Charles and Di or something of that nature going on.
No, I'm just kidding.
With his wife Toya Wilcox, who I don't know if anybody would know Toya Wilcox in North America, but she did have a couple of hits back in the day. She was a bit of a sort of new wave type singer. But her and Robert Fripp have got this whole kind of country prog.
Hold that. My pizza's here.
Oh.
Yeah, hold it. 1 second. Be right back.
Oh, right. So anyway, Robert Fripp and his wife Toya have become this beloved couple of the rock world. Happy Valentine's. Toya and Robert Fripp have covered the Dead Kennedys' Too Drunk to F *** K. This is all getting a bit much, and we think we need to go and lie down for a bit. So this is Robert Fripp, and I'm going to play a bit of this video when we get down to the video part with his rather alluring wife Toya, who I've got some singles of back in the day.
All right, sorry about that.
All right, so just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier in the Wilcox Fripp kitchen, because they have a little YouTube thing out in their kitchen, the nation's favourite prog post-punk pairing have raised the bar yet again. This week, as humanity settled down to enjoy the traditional Sunday roast, Toya Wilcox and King Crimson man Robert Fripp launched into a frenzied performance of the Dead Kennedys' 1981 single, Too Drunk to... that word. Well,
there should be another O in the first two.
Yes, it should be. Well, maybe not. So I'm going to play a little bit of this, but I don't know if I should because she's not particularly heavily dressed. Let's put it that way.
Well, then you definitely play it.
I'm definitely going to play a few seconds of it till it gets. But I mean, I'll probably get struck down from hell. But this is Britain's favourite post-punk prog couple, Robert Fripp and Toya Wilcox. Oh, maybe hang on. I gotta pause that because I didn't share the audio. Let me unshare that and then add it back in again.
Hell, just another red shirt.
Trying to do this all with one laptop is just very difficult. Share system audio. Let's hope it'll work this time. Entire screen. Oh God, is it not going to let me do it? I'll try it again. Try this. So let's just be prepared to be amazed. Oh.
Hello, boys. You pleased to see me? Or is that a gun in your pocket? Went to a party, danced all night, drank 16 beers, now I started up a fight. But now I'm jaded,
I can see it.
Cause I'm rolling down the stairs, too drunk to funk. Too drunk to funk. Too drunk to funk. Too drunk.
I think we might stop that there in case I took it.
Dude, she is awesome.
That is, I mean, I like the Dead Kennedys. That is awesome. And this is like Britain's most beloved rock couple. You know, literally the Charles and Di of prog rock and punk. Oh God, I don't know.
She seems so happy too.
She does. Do you think
so into it?
She's a lovely, happy person. Became a TV personality, but let me just oh, should I play some more? Do you think I'd get in trouble? I don't know. I'm thinking more of the fact she's not really wearing anything. Love the way he plays the riff.
Shooting out pop ties and nose and goes to far. Put him on road. I want you dead. You're falling like a baby in a race ahead.
I'll sort you out the link later, Courtney.
Too drunk to fun.
If you search for
Too drunk to fun.
Classic Rock Magazine.
Too drunk to eat right now, but I'm just too drunk to fun. Serious musician, Robert Fripp.
Courtney's loving it.
Sunday lunch.
I just think that's the greatest thing ever. And my apologies to Ian McDonald for talking about his sad death and then moving straight to that. But, you know, Robert Fripp may seem very serious on stage, but he seems to have a sense of humor.
Yeah, and who says that prog and punk can't get along?
I know, right? So we have another special guest joining us, which I'm very pleased about. And unfortunately, I haven't got I haven't prepared any clips for him, so I'll just have to play him in with something just a bit rocking. And it is the wonderful Captain Cockney Spock.
Whole lot of Rosie, whole lot of woman. Hello. Hello,
You just saw a whole lot of
Hello.
women.
Yeah.
Hello.
Nice.
How are you, Captain?
Very well. Thank you for the invitation. Yeah, nice segue. I've just been listening to Primal Scream Exterminator, mate. Album of the week. That's a nice bit of post-punk prog guitar and shouty nonsense. Punk is not sexual.
I'm a big fan of the
aggression.
Scream. Scottish band, you see. Well, most of them were. But,
yeah.
But yeah, rocks and that era. I love the rock stuff. I wasn't so keen on some of the more electronic stuff, but that stuff just absolutely killer.
Most bands stick to one genre, and some bands like switch genre every album. And Primal Scream are definitely one of those bands. They've done their house album, their dub album, which I recommend, and this was their kind of what would you call it? Post punk, punky punk.
Yeah, Exterminator, yeah, and then they did their sort of Americana rock with
the Dixie,
with rocks on it and with that album, yeah.
Now, when you say electronic, you mean like analog instruments, not like on a computer?
Analog.
Yeah.
Analog keyboards, yeah. Analog.
I draw a big distinction between like electronic keyboards and Moog synthesizers and stuff versus like, something that's programmed on a computer.
Computer, yeah. No, this would be more...
Yeah.
Very distinct.
Yeah, okay. So, like, what about bands that do both? There must be like... Moby, he must be a bit analog and a bit digital, and Chemical Brothers, they probably like a bit of both. There must be a bridge
Yeah, well, I remember in the classic era of Chemical Brothers, they used a lot of sampling. That was the big, style at the time was to sample.
Yeah.
And you would have entire, albums made of nothing but samples because these guys had been DJs and they had thousands and thousands of popular and obscure vinyl records. And Fatboy Slim, another good example.
Yeah.
And even early Daft Punk, although they flipped it when they made Random Access Memories because they actually got real musicians to come in and try to emulate the sound of electronic music.
See, the other
which I always thought was pretty clever.
Around the world.
That's meta.
Right? Meta.
Well, you got bands even further back, like 10cc when they did "I'm Not in Love," that they used voices to pretend they were using synthesizers. It was all layered vocals.
Oh, that was 10cc? I know that
I'm
song.
Not in Love. That was all
Not
voices.
in love.
Yeah, all that. It wasn't synthesizers. It was all layered voices. They deliberately didn't want to use keyboards. Other than there's a bit of electric piano in it, but that's it.
Pew, 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 pew. I know how they got the name for the band.
Well, I do too, because it was one more than 9cc.
Right.
Just to describe their potency. It's a shame that name was given to them by Jonathan King, who turned out to be a perdo.
Oh wait, I got one for that too.
Yeah, I got one for that as well.
What?
I love that one.
But yeah, Jonathan King was, for those in North America who don't know, was a British television personality and recording artist and producer who had TV shows, TV presenter for years, and was a big friend of Jimmy Savile's. And he owned UK Records, who 10cc were their first two albums were on UK, and he said, "Why don't you call yourselves 10cc?" Just because the average male ejaculate is 9cc's, and you can sound really potent. As we know, he obviously liked that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, he's doing time for
these go up to 11.
Yes, he's doing Perdo.
These go all the way up to 11.
So he didn't. Yeah, it turned out he was a bad man. I don't know how anyone couldn't really see that at the time, but it's the same with Jimmy Savile, I guess. But hey, let's not get too deep into that rabbit hole, I guess. But anyway, yes. So there's lots of ways of pretending you're doing electronic stuff without really being electronic. So. The Beatles were the first to use a Moog on a mainstream rock album on Abbey Road.
On Abbey Road, huh?
Yeah, George was actually the guy who brought it in. He was very strong. He was able to lift the thing.
You would think it would be John.
No, it was George. He made a whole album called Electronic Music. Solo album. Yeah, he was into that stuff.
And more recently, Paul McCartney did an electronic album as The Fireman. Is that true?
Yes, he did two, and the first one was really much more anonymous and more dance electronic stuff. The second one was more of a straightforward rock album, still under the name The Fireman. It was co-produced by Youth from Killing Joke, who's a big producer now. But the second Fireman album is really... Sorry, mate?
No, sorry, carry on. Really?
No, yeah, the second Fireman album is magnificent. It's one of his best 2 or 3 albums ever. And it's some of his best ever songs, and there's not a weak track on it, and it's some beautiful stuff. Very less of the electronic stuff though. It's more rock than dance. But he was mucking about with DJs at that time as well. He had a DJ in his live sets, did the whole intro, because he had a couple of dance mixes of old songs they'd put together. They were quite good actually, that stuff. But yeah, so the second Fireman album is really good. If
Rushes?
I'll probably do a top 10 Paul McCartney albums, and that will be maybe number 2, maybe number 3.
Was the second album called Rushes? I'm actually not familiar with the Fireman.
No, it's you know what? My mind is just blanked.
Nice.
It always does.
So you've reached the state of Zen?
Electric arguments.
You're in the moment.
In the moment.
Okay.
Well, I've got 2 distinguished guests. I'm nervous.
When are they showing up?
Well, I don't know what the captain. He might say something like, what's about the eternity of something or other, and that's it. I'll be stuck.
No, music's nice because it's interesting. What you listen to at the moment. It's actually now I'm realizing I'm kind of balancing them out when I'm not listening to Exterminator by Primal Scream. I'm chilling right out once I find the CD. In the meanwhile, on thank you YouTube, Boards of Canada with their first album.
Music Has the Right to Children.
Oh, it's just the perfect ambient chill out album. There is a distinction, but yeah, brilliant because they went into acoustic. I think their Campfire Head Phase. I think their fourth album they went full acoustic. They've jumped around, but no, I like their first album. Their first two albums actually. Geogaddy is also good, obviously because it's got a song about the Fibonacci sequence. Spunk Bubble achieved. 12cc for
Was
that
the
one.
9cc or 10cc version?
Yeah, no, the full 12. That's what you'd see. Your mind went exactly that. I'll go 12cc for that album.
Yeah.
Now, when I was doing college radio, we just had Geogaddy and Music Has the Right to Children. But yeah, no, it was very distinctive. And you got me listening to it again after more than a decade.
It's so good, eh? Oh, Rue the World. If you just like any ambient at all, and a link to TV with space, Rue the World. Brian, yeah, recommend Rue the World as your kind of in the context of that chilled out ambience. It's almost like that's a dance track. Oh, I might almost have to stand up, make a cup of tea to this one. Whee!
Just shuffle about a little.
Exactly. And then, once you're fully almost kind of sparko sleepy on that one, then back with the Primal Screamadelica, get in the car. Yeah! This corner's quite well, doesn't it? Anyway, moving on.
Nothing like
I always imagine you listening to music on horseback with a pith helmet on.
Wow, horses, eh? Yeah.
No. The captain has an apartment with a mews, like in London. And upstairs he has, first of all, he's got an antique globe with a bar in it. But secondly, he presses a button on his remote, and the remote has an aerial on it, and the screens open up in front, and he's got a quadraphonic setup with valve amp and a record player.
I do actually have a record player, and I actually do, those round chairs in the prisoner. I've got
one. Round chairs in the prisoner.
Yeah. So you're not actually far wrong.
You got that phone?
Yeah.
Not that yet. That's next. Oh, good one. eBay we go.
Oh yeah. Yes. The captain has a wide range of musical tastes, I would say, which is good. That's what I like.
Yeah, thanks for that, because I pride myself on, and it's not taste that's the amazing thing. I don't know what makes taste, but yeah, I'm notoriously fickle and diverse. I like almost any. I mean, hip hop was my first. When you're about 11, 12, because you get into music when you're, I don't know, teenage years, kind of slightly after movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, what genre am I going to get into? And there was nothing. And then suddenly there was electro, and that turned into hip hop. So that was my entry into music. Well, ABBA technically first, but and then, I mean, if I was a little bit older, I probably would have appreciated Kraftwerk, because in hindsight, in the late 70s, just before I was getting aware of music, I think there was so much new. Well, heavy metal had only just been invented. It was such a creative time. In the late 70s, electronic pop music, which laid the foundations for dance music. Early hip hop. Hip hop was born in the late 70s in New York. Oh, what a time! What a time to be alive. To be young was very heaven.
Yeah, so for me, it was like similar experience and similar age. It's like 12, 13, started to really get into music. I'd bought a lot of singles before that, but really just pop, you're 10, you don't really get it, But then at that point, I started to heavily get into it. And that was the early 70s. So I had all the glam stuff, I had heavy stuff, all the blues rock stuff, and then prog, and then came punk. And, it was just a wonderful time, that era. That period of like 73 to 83, just such fantastic stuff. So, and all different.
Yeah. And that's the thing, that it's not always nice, neat decades. Exactly. It was definitely around, I'd go 73, 83. Yeah, explosion of music.
Absolutely. And there's still so much of that that's worth going back to and checking out if you forget things, You think,
go back and listen. Gary Newman, Our Friends Electric.
I love Tugway Army, Gary Newman.
Yeah.
Just brilliant. Yeah.
Still sounds like the music of the future today to me.
Our friends Skeletrix. I mean, Electric.
Electrics.
Captain, you remember from the Mighty Boosh? This is the songs of the 60s. This is the songs of the 70s. And he pulls out a big stack of tapes, and this is Gary Newman.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, did you spot my Mighty Boosh clip earlier? Did you spot
No, I don't think so.
You didn't spot my Mighty Boosh.
See, they did good electronic future sailors. We're future sailors.
Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking, Chief.
Concentrating on trucking right.
As if I would ever want to stop trucking.
That was 10cc. Concentrating on trucking right. Dreadlock Holiday. That was the Mighty Boosh. The guy was dancing to 10cc.
That guy from the Mighty.
So we've had the Mighty Boosh and 10cc in one clip.
You had the zoo manager. I did good thing.
You know, you get economy in the show. You get concise clips that have everything we talk about. And that was done in advance. So I was just guessing.
Yeah, it was very information rich, very generous signal to noise ratio.
Yeah, so
very prescient.
Prescient, yes.
Anonymous
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm old gray.
I knew you were going to say prescient.
I knew that you knew that I was going to say it.
No,
no clue.
I think I got enough mods to handle the bots, so thank you.
We already got that one.
Red Church taking care of that way. Yeah, thank you.
We are.
Oh, we both got it.
Winono Mass has joined us. Nerdporial, good to see you, Nerdporial. Obviously, Red Shirt's kicking around. Thank you, sir. I think we've already mentioned. Darth's got a hot topic.
Hot.
He's always got
Runner 2099 is coming, of course.
Oh man,
I don't know if we want to go there. Do we want to go there? The lovely Sherry.
Is that the animated series?
No, that's for. Don't even talk about that. That's
Speaking of which,
there's going to be a new live action Blade Runner 2099
I don't
series.
Stop reading my mind. Yeah, it's called I Am I Replicant. Featuring Rick Deckard.
I keep telling people everyone's a replicant except Deckard, and he thinks he's a replicant, even though he's human. This is the theory.
Yeah, I got into a hot debate with someone on Reddit just as recently as 2 days ago. You know what about whether Deckard's a replicant? Come on. They can't let it go, the fuckers.
Yeah,
I just copy and paste standard responses. They can't say anything. I have no. Oh, in the book, he's a human. Shut the fuck up about the book, bitch. With a Lady Stoneheart, bitch.
So you have to.
It's going to be a live action series by Amazon.
Indeed, that means it'll be trash. So we have to. I'm not judging it or anything. So I do have another guest to invite on, and I don't specifically have something for her either, but I'll give her this one.
You sound like a cop to me.
So welcome, it's Courtney.
Hey, Courtney.
Hi, guys.
I could send you my Courtney clip.
I'm gonna have to make a special one up for you, but I haven't the time. Sorry.
That was what you call bitch slap, man.
It was, yes. It's a good Scottish slap right there.
Yeah.
So the other one I could have given you was this, of course.
Are there any women here today?
Could have given you that one.
Right. Through that.
How's everyone doing?
Power. Good. How are you?
Are you a woman?
I'm doing well. I am
Not
woman.
bad.
Hear
Not
me
bad.
roar.
Or as they say in Philly, not bad.
That's how you do it. That's how you mock us.
No, I love it.
I was watching a British television show with two guys who were training with the Philadelphia Eagles. They were supposed to be funny, like they were just mucking about, but British television is so wonderful.
Yeah, was Michael Vick making two dogs fight in the background?
Michael Vick is
something
such
like that.
old news.
No, they just made these two guys pretend to hit each other, and they were such British wimps, so they couldn't do it. They just like,
oh, that's hilarious.
Don't hit me. They only had to like breathe on them, and they fell over. It was quite funny. In fact, I was watching some great British comedy earlier before the show started, and laughing my chesticles off at things like Stephen Fry doing the QI quiz show and Would I Lie to You, which is another great British show from about 15 years ago. Jeremy Clarkson and people like that are on them. There was some good stuff.
My favorites are still like the young ones and Ab Fab, of course.
Mousy, 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 mousy.
Oh, darling.
My name's Vic with a silent P.
Yeah, these are sort of the later shows, but there was a stream of really good comedies like Would I Lie to You? Bob Mortimer's on a lot, and he's a funny guy. Bob Mortimer's a lovely guy. Just stuff like that. And Rob Brydon, he's on that one too. But you know, I can download them all, I guess, if I want. It's British television. Doesn't have much else to recommend it. There's a lot of shows about baking and sheepdogs. Not baking sheepdogs, though, just baking.
Don't make
Oh, thank God.
What's New Zealand television like, Captain?
Non-existent. I don't know. It's not plugged in.
Yeah.
Someone nicked the aerial. No clue.
Good
yeah.
move.
No, I'm still just subsisting on basically Blu-rays from the past.
It's 24 hours of Jacinda Ardern just saying, please stay inside while smoking a joint.
Right.
Exactly. Team of 5 million. Pass the blunt. Don't front. You're nicked. No, at the moment, it's this random thing. You know, it's basically I run my own TV channel. We might as well just call it Hipster TV. So this time it's apparently an obscure Napoleonic. Now get this. This is right not up my alley. The whole thing is an unreliable narration. I fucking hate it already.
Oh, wow. Oh, we know. We know you hate that.
I would have said, Captain, that your show was more hip replacement than hip.
Oh, nice. If you've got a hip, I'll replace it. Oh, my.
Oh, my. So I see their attempts to scare away the New Zealand protesters by using music are failing miserably. First of all, they tried Barry Manilow.
Yeah, that's it.
But, I mean, everyone just got up and danced. I mean, come on, who's going to get annoyed by Barry Manilow?
Exactly.
Oh no, I gotta go. Oh, you know.
They should have put on Chesney Hawks. Yeah, no, don't get me started. Bloody politics.
He is the one and only.
Exactly, but yeah, Jacinda is basically our own version of Trudeau, except she's not actually a direct descendant of Che Guevara or whatever, but or that other guy, and Andrew Ridgely, whatever. Is that guy? Yeah, living in Cuba, the guy with the beard.
Wasn't that guy that had a stadium named after him, Che Guevara? Shea Stadium?
Oh yeah, that's it, Shea Stadium. Oh,
hey, Andrew Ridgely, wasn't that race car driver?
Andrew Ridgely, son of Fred.
That's good 70s. That's a golf.
I stole that from the Ruttles, so you know it has to be good.
Chase Stadium. The Beatles at Chase Stadium in a parallel universe.
That's a Ruttles line by Eric Idle, but so
back in the eastern Ukraine, the Donbass region's really far out.
Oh, the drums of war are
jurisdiction.
That's all that's on British television in the news. The drums of war. I'm like,
yep. Don't worry, you can make a push through Belarus. 50 ways to invade the Ukraine. Get out the back, Jack.
Right. Yes. I heard that song the other day, Paul Simon. I was sat and my daughter in a supermarket, and they were playing Steely Dan. I said, "Oh, that's Steely Dan." And she went, "Who?" I thought, "Oh God, I didn't raise you very well."
Steely Dan got their name too.
Did not raise you very well. And then they played Paul Simon. I said, "Oh, it's Paul Simon." She said, "Who?"
What?
You know, I said, "You must have heard of Bridge Over Troubled Water." Oh, I think I've heard that somewhere. You know.
He's the one that married Princess Leia. I mean, Carrie Fisher.
That's right.
Now, apparently, Paul Simon was once, true story, in a downtown New York restaurant. I believe
I know what you're going to say.
Restaurant, Chinese, great bunch of lads. And he was he selected a chicken and egg soup. A chicken and egg soup. He was eating the soup, drinking the soup. There's a chicken and egg soup. That's the setup. There's a chicken and egg soup. The title of the meal, the name of the meal was Mother and Child
Reunion. Yeah.
That's a good name for a song.
That's right. It's
funny,
isn't it? Mother and Child Reunion. I love that one.
That makes that even better.
What really makes me laugh is that Paul Simon used to get so upset that Art Garfunkel got all the applause for singing Bridge Over Troubled Water live, and he hated it. He hated him getting all the applause. I wrote that. I wrote it. I wrote it. And Art's up there singing like an angel, and Paul Simon used to get really angry about that. Like,
Freaking Oasis all over again, isn't it?
It is, yeah, because everyone knows that Liam's got the voice of an angel.
Oh, the Gallagher brothers.
Well, sorry, why I bring them up? I can't stand them. I'm Blur. Blur Oasis, I'm Blur all the way.
You're Blur? You're a boy that likes girls, that likes boys, that like girls.
I love Blur.
Exactly.
I really do.
Oh, I should be someone you really love.
Girls, you love girls, you love girls, you love girls.
It's a sing-along now.
For the hipsters, they really got big later on. Obviously, they're rubbish by then. But no, Blur, before they were famous for the hipsters, definitely their first album, Leisure, thoroughly recommend. It's my birthday.
I think that song got famous because of the Train Spotting soundtrack.
Yes, that did give them a huge boost.
I want to say,
absolutely.
Shut up. Sorry.
All right, Courtney. All right, you have to pick one: Blur or Oasis.
Which one is his father?
They're they sound so different, but I'm going to say Oasis.
I pick Supergrass.
Get the fuck off my channel.
I'm picking Supergrass. If I'm forced to choose between those two, I pick Supergrass.
No, I like Shed 7.
Shed 7 were pretty good. How about the In-Spiral
Carpets? They were named after a British Rail shed that was literally called Shed 7. That's like George R. Martin calling his fictional planet Earth, which he literally did.
But it is called Earth.
I know. Not exactly creative, is it? I mean, Planetos would actually have been better.
I just call it Planet 3.
Planet 3. Shed 7. Fuck off.
Is that your final word?
No, I'm afraid so. Shed 7, indie band of the future, no. Now, Sultans of Ping FC, that is the hipster choice right there. I was dancing in the disco.
When I think hipster, I think it's like
wait a minute,
the Strokes and stuff like that.
Those Karl Marx. I like your manifesto. I'll put it.
What was the name of the band that did 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, please?
Oh, that was
Mind me.
Was it the
2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, please?
It wasn't the Force.
It was a British
thing. I gotta Google it. I can't remember.
2 pints of lager and a packet of
crisps,
please.
No, you let that go.
That's a sitcom?
No, it was a band that did it. It was a hit called 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, please.
I'm guessing the sitcom was named after the song.
Or am I getting confused?
It was Splodgeness Abounds. That's what it was. That band.
Splodgeness Abounds.
Splodgeness?
Splodgeness Abounds, they're called.
Yeah, that's a bit earlier, though. That was like the 80s.
Yeah, they were around the time that other band, the Forskins, they did a cover of that, I think. They were like more of an oi band, but that's funny. I think it was
I forgot. I just till right now, I'd forgotten that song. Do you know who I was watching a video? I was watching some Bad Manners videos earlier. Remember Bad Manners?
Yes, I do.
Baggy trousers.
I saw them live once. No, that was Madness.
Madness did that, yeah.
Baggy.
That album.
Bad Manners were the ones where the guy used to pull the toilet. He used to pull the toilet rolls out of his trousers as he was on stage.
Buster Blood Vessel, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah. But I was watching some live videos. They're still going. They're still going.
Buster Blood Vessel.
In fact, I hired them once to play an RAF thing that I was the head of.
No, shut the front door.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was a good night.
That's really funny. You just said shut the front door.
Shut the front door.
This teacher that I worked with used to say that, and every time I would be like, "She's not. Oh my god, she's gonna say it."
It kills
me every time.
10. It's a classic. Yeah.
Did she also say cheese and rice?
No, she didn't. But she might as well have.
That's a great Ruttles song, Cheese and Onions. I've always told in the back of my mind, cheese and onions. It's supposed to be like a glass onion meets whatever. But,
Oh, yeah.
Cheese and onions. So
I know Derry's got the spelling.
Do I have to spell it out? I love the Ruttles. They made better music than the Beatles.
Ooh, hot take.
The Ruttles Archaeology is better than any album the Beatles ever made.
That might be your hottest take ever.
Yeah,
I might be lying, of course. I might be lying, but
no, it's not a lie. It's a non-literal truth.
That's right. That's it.
A non-literal truth.
If there was nothing or something, there would be nothing or the Ruttles. The Ruttles would be it. That would be existence. Wow. Just the Ruttles.
Wow.
Neil Innes. You've never heard Neil Innes' cover of "Come On Feel the Noise"? He did with his son playing the drums. His son was about 8 or something.
No,
just did it
that
for
would be
fun.
awesome.
It's quite good.
Come on, feel the noise.
Have you heard the original version of that song?
I have.
By Slade.
By a band called Slade.
Slade. Yeah, we were talking about that not long ago. That 70s
baby.
A lot of people don't know that was a Slade song, like early.
They
70s.
don't.
That's sadly
Fools.
true. Now, I knew it was a Slade song, but when I met that 70s rock fan about a year and a half ago, he got me to listen to a whole bunch of other Slade songs that I'd never heard before. And I loved it. And I was like, all right, this guy and I are going to be friends.
Yep.
Indeed, I ruined you for life.
I wouldn't go back.
I instantly liked him because I saw all his vinyl behind him.
Yeah. Well, not today in a hotel room, but I did have one other piece of music stuff I wanted to talk about, and then just while I've got you all sitting here as a captive audience, so this may or may not be a good thing, but I'm hoping it'll be a good thing. It's going to be. No, I can't share the entire screen. This thing's really killing me. It's Have you seen this? Yeah. So there's going to be a new biopic. I always wondered, is it biopic or biopic?
I think it's biopic.
Biopic.
Sure. I think biopic.
It's about Keith Moon, and it's going to be called The Real Me. Pete Townshend's. I think he's getting a little bit antsy about it because Roger Daltrey's producing it and is kind of in control of it. Pete's getting a bit gruntled. Or disgruntled.
He's getting butthurt about it.
He's getting butthurt. Possibly. He said it may or may not be. I've seen other interviews. He said, well, it's okay. Roger will be all right. It'll be all right. But
see that line right in the middle near your cursor? When you talk about it as a Keith Moon biopic, it's going to be the first semi-fictionalized, dramatized Who story.
Semi-fiction. No, I'm out. Fuck
I cannot read that.
I'm out. Good night.
Yeah.
It will be a Who biopic.
Right. Semi-fictionalized and dramatized.
No.
Right up front.
No!
Somebody is going to have to play Pete Townsend. I've read some very, very varied opinions about what my relationship was like with Keith. Well, I don't know. I mean, Keith was a nutter.
I view it one way, and other people view it another way. Unreliable narrator? Rashomon effect?
Yes.
I know somebody who hates that.
He's setting up the two ends of the scale, and then he wants to sit in the middle.
Yeah.
Certainly never at
There's
war
a
with
good
Keith.
comment for you in the chat, by the way, Eric K. It's pretty funny. He made a funny haha.
Oh, that's the old one. Hey, McLeod got from my you. The sheep are all breathing a sigh of relief that I'm going home tomorrow. I've spent days at the Johnston's woolen mill, and I tell you, that place is just like heaven. You roll around.
Courtney, do you know why Scotsmen wear kilts?
To let air conditioning for their balls.
Close. Do you want to say it? I know you both know it.
I'll let the captain say it.
All right, Captain. You want to give her the punchline?
No, please.
You do it, Daddy.
Scotsmen wear kilts because sheep can hear a zipper from a mile away.
Especially around here,
Tea towels, toasters, all with the clan coat of arms, of course.
It feels good when you're wearing kilts. Well, put that in your kilts and smoke it.
I do wear something under those kilts, but it's easy to get off.
Exactly.
I didn't even know you had those clips.
Oh, these are new. These are new. I haven't just been sitting here doing nothing, you know. I've been preparing all week.
It's
Well, I
good to
haven't
learn more
really.
about my newfound heritage, so I enjoy it.
Even when you're on
I've got-
vacation, you prepare more than I do.
That's right.
Yeah,
I've got these.
Whiskey. Scotch. Aye.
Would you care for a wee nip of Scotch whiskey?
And that's what I'm taking home with me.
Oh,
The Ben Romach. Because you only
Nice.
allowed one bottle. I tried taking other bottles into Canada once I got caught. That didn't go well. This is the Cara Gold malt by Ben Romach. It's a new edition, if you want to call it that, from Ben Romach. So it's where my daughter's connected to this company, you see. So
What did they do when you got caught bringing more than one?
gave me a very, very stern lecture and then let me go.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be in big trouble. And in fact, they didn't even send me to the duty thing to pay the duty on it. So
I just remember my ex's mom, she was British, and she brought sausages back, bangers, to make bangers and mash. And she got caught with like a suitcase full of sausages. And we were just dying laughing. She's
well, she
like,
claimed they were
proper
sausages.
lady.
My
No, she didn't
bangers,
claim them, they
my
found them,
beans,
yeah.
and my mash.
But she got a
Yeah.
lecture too. That was about it.
I just misjudged the amount of alcohol you were allowed to bring back. So I made a mistake.
That's all you have to do. Say whoops.
So,
Courtney, you've seen Get Him with the Greek?
Yes, yes.
When Aldous Snow does bangers and mash.
Yeah. Hold one
Raquel's here.
moment, please.
Giggity.
Hey,
I'm
Raquel.
sorry, guys. My mother's calling. Let me just.
He's X. Yes. Anyway, so that's what's happening with the Who and Keith Moon, and I hope it'll be a good biopic. But like some of these other ones we've seen, like the Brian Jones one or whatever, there's when as soon as you introduce the semi-fictional element, you know, anything can happen. So
I'm groaning.
My mother wished
However-
all of you a happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's
Hey.
Day, brother. And I forgot to say to everybody, Happy Valentine's Day. I love you all.
I love you too.
I love you all. Especially you. I didn't say a name. See, it's not getting you all wondering.
He was talking to me.
Oh, you never know.
You can
I
just
don't
clip
know,
that
you're
and
right.
send it to all the ladies.
So that was, I'm going to stop sharing this damn thing. Remove, there we go. But yeah, there's no talk yet of casting for this film or even who's going to direct it. But you know they were actually going to make this about 20 years ago, this Real Me Keith Moon thing, and Robert Downey Jr. was pegged to play the role.
Oh,
which actually would work because he's kind of short, and so was Keith. So, and then Mike
I can
Myers
see him
was
doing
attached
that.
to it, but now
He's
there's no
American.
casting.
I can see it.
Mike Myers can do a
He
proper
can
British
do
accent.
a London accent. I mean, the captain does one.
I've been faking it for years. So
He's
far, I
been
think I've gotten
faking
away
it,
with
and his accent too. So the
Yeah.
missus says,
It's been a 35-year skip.
I hate
Yeah,
every one
right.
of my orgasms.
Yeah, he did do Sherlock Holmes, though, didn't he?
He did, and he wasn't. Yeah, he's not bad with the accents. He usually only works the other way around. Like Brits can do
Mhm.
American accents. Doesn't always go the other way. They
Kevin
slip a lot.
motherfucking Costner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hi,
Oh, God.
I'm Robin Hood. I'm
Or how
from
about
Leicestershire.
I think the best one was Keanu Reeves playing Harker and
Oh, yeah.
Dracula.
I know that was good. 'Cause he
Oh,
tried,
hello, I'm a lord, or
God,
whatever.
dude. Whoa.
However, the naked scene's more than
Winona
made up for it.
Ryder.
And I don't mean him. I mean, yeah.
Dude, Dracula is here. Excellent. Blah.
And then Gary Oldman, a real actor, turns up.
I got Gary.
Yeah, you know what? Gary Oldman was, I'm not being heteronormative, but he was
I'm
hot as
fucking
hell in that.
Dracula now.
He was hot as
Gary
hell when
Oldman
he.
is such a good actor.
And
It
they
was
went
funny
into a
when
bit of the historic Vlad the Impaler, who I think has been very misrepresented. Is actually a bit of a hero. Unless you're
Indeed, and he
an
only
Orthodox.
impaled it during the week. He didn't do it at the weekends. It was just his
Really?
job.
It wasn't. It was a tame impaler.
It's just his job, you know. I mean,
Yeah. What nobody asks is, did they have it coming?
well, exactly. they don't like it up 'em.
They don't like it up and do they? The Ottomans.
Yeah, I was watching the Captain. You'll get this. But I was watching the movie of Dad's Army the other day. I'd forgotten they made it. Not the original movie of Dad's Army or TV show, but the remake with Toby Jones and Bill Nighy and whatever. I mean, what was the point of that?
Was it good?
What was the point? No, it wasn't. It was terrible. Although Catherine Zeta-Jones was hot in it, but you know.
As she tends to be.
Bill Nighy was playing the Sergeant Wilson part, so he played it as Bill Nighy. So.
Yeah, and Bill Nighy is not the science guy.
I was just going to question that.
Not Bill Nye. Bill Nye, I claim I'm a science guy.
My mind even
No, Bill Nighy. Wasn't he in Love Actually or whatever? Some other.
Wasn't he Davy Jones in the Pirates of the
Davy
Caribbean?
Jones was a lot shorter than him.
No, not that Davy Jones.
That I thought of the monkeys. Yeah.
That's what I thought of.
What? He played a monkey in Pirates of
the Daydream Believer.
The Monkeys movie Head.
He was Davy Jones in. Was he Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean?
I think so.
I thought that was one of the Sarsgaards.
Hey, when the zombies were just zombieing around, we're too busy swimming in the Caribbean to bring anybody down. Hey, it's
sounds like a murder mystery. Bring any bodies down. Who killed the monkeys? So,
yeah,
I don't have any other music news for you other than Rush has announced a Moving Pictures 40th anniversary set, and it looks like it's full of really good stuff. If you like Rush and prog rock.
Is it semi-fictionalized?
It's a semi-fictionalized account of a because there couldn't be a real Canadian band as good as Rush, so it must be.
Teenage Head. That's debatable. Come on.
Teenage Head.
Oh,
as a
They're
concept,
nothing like
I like the idea as a concept, but.
Oh, by the way, Stellan Skarsgård played Bootstrap Bill, which was the father of Will Turner.
I think April Wine are probably the next best Canadian band.
Yeah, but in Canada, it's like 30%. Oh, go ahead. There's like 30% of all music by law has to be Canadian music on Canadian radio.
That's correct. We have a Canadian content law in Canada.
Okay.
So you can't go more than 3 songs without hearing a Canadian one. So if I ever hear Bachman Turner Overdrive again, I'm going to kill someone in Minecraft.
Replace it. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
Let's play and once again, the Guess Who.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
It's like the same 6 songs.
Cool. I like that rule though. I don't know.
No. It's
not after you've lived there for years.
I mean, how many times can you listen to Loverboy? You know, just without wanting to. Just without wanting to destroy the radio, and that's in the car.
Smash things.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just crash your car so you don't have to listen to it again.
The boys from school. Had a band, we try real hard. You got married.
Well, you get all the Bryan Adams. You get Colin James, which is good because I like Colin James. Seen him many times live.
You know who loves Bryan Adams? That's a friend of ours.
Mrs. Bryan Adams.
Who?
Canadian Spider-Man.
Oh, Brian's great. I've seen Bryan Adams in concert a few times. Fantastic. Plays all the little hockey arenas. He does Canadian tours. Same as Colin James. They play all the small towns. Total respect for that. You know?
Now, the Canadian government has repeatedly apologized for Bryan Adams.
That's right. I think we're getting into South Park territory.
Not Justin Bieber.
That's a crime against humanity.
Yeah. Please take him back.
In fact, that's what the truckers were trying to blockade.
I think Avril Lavigne is a crime against humanity.
Oh my God.
Blue Rodeo. Someone mentioned Blue Rodeo. They had a couple of good songs. But, yeah. But generally, because of that rule, that thing, Trooper? No.
Super Trooper.
But Chilliwack. You remember Chilliwack?
No.
You might not know them. No. Max Webster. You ever heard of them?
Nope. No, I'm only a quarter Canadian, so only every 12th song I listen to is Canadian.
But yeah, there's the funny thing was when I was young, it used to confuse me because there was another Canadian band called Mahogany Rush. So there was Rush and Mahogany Rush. Well, Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush, they were a Montreal heavy rock band.
Mahogany,
And that
quick, rush
really
that tree.
confused the shit out of me. I thought, which one of these is the real Rush? You know? How can they do that? Yeah, Helen Reddy was Canadian. I am woman, hear me whimper.
Roar.
Mahogany Rush could have been the Motown version.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, Frank Marino was a pretty good guitar player as well. But they
Yeah.
were Montreal-based rock band, but that was the early 70s. But
Did he
Canadian content,
do anything
yeah,
else?
you're going to get the same shit again and again. It's not good. I mean, they shouldn't even make their own TV shows. They're terrible.
Yeah. Well, 'cause what you have is the radio station wants to play the most popular stuff, right?
Yes.
But every third song has to be Canadian, so you're gonna get repeats of the same songs.
Yeah, because there just isn't the same amount of content. Now, there are some pretty good indie bands and rock bands kicking around.
There's some punk bands. DOA, the Vile Tunes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few. You don't get those on the CBC normally, but...
And the Canadian punk bands are rebelling against that law.
That's right.
They are. That would
Fight
make
the
sense.
man, but he can play my records 3 times a day. Yeah, I don't agree with any rule that says you must play X amount of content. I don't care what it is or where it is. It's just me. But if it doesn't stand up on its own rights, then its own merits, what's the point, you know?
Who else were the Cowboy Junkies? Is that Canadian?
Yes, they're Canadian. Yeah.
That's a good Canadian band.
Yeah,
That's
they're all right.
Canadian.
The Sheepdogs, they're a good band, strangely enough, and they're Canadian. Sheepdogs, look them up, they're pretty good.
Earlier, Courtney mentioned Devin Townsend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was in. I mean, he like contributed to so many different projects and stuff like that.
Yep, strapping young lad.
Yes.
I prefer his brother Cornwall.
Cornwall Townsend.
Dorset, his cousin Dorset. But yeah, the Sheepdogs, pretty good band. You wouldn't necessarily know they were Canadian though, but more Americana sounding. If you ever come across them, they're pretty good.
You know, Devin Townsend has your haircut now.
Frontline Assembly. That's who it was.
Oh, are they Canadian?
Darius, you should know them. Devin Townsend.
I do.
Did stuff with them. That's who it was. I was trying to think of who I had to Google it right now. Name of God.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with Devin from Strapping Young Lad, and he did a solo album that I used to listen to when I was at college radio. It was called Ziltoid the Omniscient.
Townsend.
Yeah, it was by the Devin Townsend Project, and Ziltoid the Omniscient was about an alien who comes to Earth looking for the perfect cup of coffee.
I mean, you can just sing you can hear everyone singing along to that one.
No one can say it like Darius though.
Say it again, Darius. You're so sexy.
Ziltoid the Omniscient.
Ziltoid. Nobody says Ziltoid.
I am so omniscient. If there were 2 omnisciences, I would be both of them.
The Trues, that's another good band, by the way, Canadian band, The Trues.
You know, I have noticed that, you know how like Canadian comedy has a very unique and kind of odd style to it. I've noticed there are more comedic bands from Canada, and sometimes it's hard to tell if they're being comedic or not.
Mm.
You know, because like a good song,
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that whole album, for example, it's a comedic album, but it has
the Bare Naked Ladies have got a lot of funny stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
They're quite light-hearted, so they do. I wouldn't say they did comedy, but they're quite funny.
Right. It's hard to know sometimes with Canadians where the joke begins and ends.
They did a great Christmas album, which was really quite unique. It had a lot of really funny stuff in it.
Yeah, I don't think I know that one.
Well, it's the Bare Naked Ladies Christmas album.
You know, there was one Saturday morning when I was a kid in the 90s that Bare Naked Ladies were going to be a guest on like the Saturday morning cartoons. And at first, the network called it Naked Day. But after about a week, they changed it to BNL Day.
You know, the first time I saw them live at a festival in Scotland, I was bitterly disappointed.
These are all fully clothed men.
I came all this way, and they're just a bunch of fully clothed Canadian men. I was promised the bare naked ladies, but it was a good gig. A good bunch.
Oh, here you go. Punky Brewster, Cooked on Phonics. That was an early solo
Brewster.
album by Duffy Townsend.
Punky Brewster, I remember.
That's Brewster with an umlaut.
Voivod. Voivod was a.
Oh yeah, Voivod.
They
Of
were a
course.
thrash metal. They were awesome.
They were
If
kind of
you saw
proggy
the
too.
Beastie Boys in 1987, their dancers did occasionally go topless, apparently. Speaking
The Stranglers used to have strippers on stage with them. I remember the Stranglers.
The Stranglers? I love the Stranglers.
Oh, me too. I've got a bunch of their singles, collectible singles.
I like
of course you do. I'm so jealous.
They used to have strippers on stage.
Nice.
And I remember once I nearly screwed up because I was working in Saudi Arabia and I took a bunch of VHS tapes over with me after being on holiday. And of course they vet everything. And I didn't realise that this Stranglers Greatest Hits VHS had the live clips of them with the strippers on it. And the censors sitting there watching these. You're standing there like this with the armed police, and the censors watching the thing. And luckily he got bored and fast forwarded through that bit by mistake. Otherwise I would have been in big trouble.
Wow, that was close.
And I didn't realise until I thought, oh wait a minute, it's not music videos. It's not just got music videos. It's got that clip too. Oh,
you almost had a Wes Moody moment, a Trekking on Tuesday moment.
Yeah, but so Darth asking, does an American band with one Canadian band member count towards your dumb radio rule? I don't think it does, but I think that's a thing that's been kicked back and forward for ages. And I know that Bride Adams at one point wasn't getting played as Canadian content because he had an American producer or it was made in an American studio or something like that.
At this point, you might as well call Boards of Canada, who of course are from Sheffield, Canadian, just to
But yeah, there's always arguing about what really counts as Canadian content and what doesn't, So
exactly.
But you can guarantee if it wasn't for that, the Guess Who would never get played anywhere. So Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman's 60s band. I can't stand the Guess Who because one of the reasons I can't stand them is that they had a hit with a cover of Shakin' All Over in North America, but the far superior original was done by Johnny Kidd and the Pirates in the UK, and I love that band and I love that song. And the Guess Who did this knockoff of it, which wasn't nearly as good on the guitar playing or whatever, and they had a big hit with it, Shaking All Over. So just it really annoys me. Now I like Rodney Bachman later on when he was BTO, but even then you can only hear Roll On Down the Highway like for the first million times until you get sick of it. Or you ain't seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Homer Simpson's favorite song.
Funny though.
Get to the working overtime part.
That's right.
Yeah, I'd never considered
I'm
buying
still thinking about what Strangler stuff you have.
Well, I've got a bunch of singles. I've got like the special.
You have like No More Heroes.
I've got No More Heroes, Peaches, 5 Minutes. Something Better Change. I've also got the Walk On By one, which was had a free second single inside it, which was a limited edition.
I don't even know.
Free second.
White vinyl.
I didn't know if they like.
I've had longer lasting sneezes.
But the I've got a whole bunch of these Stranglers singles that I've managed to hold on to. Walk On By was like their cover of it.
Oh, nice.
I'm finally going to break my virginity.
Oh, nice.
So the
I love that show.
One of these days, I'm going to make you show them to me. Just so you know your Stranglers collection.
Oh, I will.
Everyone tells me. Shout out Scotty R37 who said, "Don't watch the live action Cowboy Bebop, as we call it. Watch the original Cowboy Bebop." So I will do just that.
Cool. Very
Bebop
nice.
is my mom's nickname, and I believe she's watching right now. So, hi, Mom. Bebop.
Hello, Bebop.
Yeah. So
hi, Mom.
I intend to do more of my little short videos where I'm showing off my collectible vinyl, and one of them will be about the Stranglers. So.
Yay.
Oh, make sure you put them in a box so you can do an unboxing.
No, I'll just take them straight out of the case. I don't mind. Yeah. So, just checking in on the chat. Thank you all for still being here in this fascinating conversation about Canadian music and other such things. Still a bunch of people
Thank
here.
you for having me on. I'm actually going to get off though for now. Like I'm gonna get going because I'll see you next week. I'm not doing what I know. It came out wrong. I caught it as I said.
Mrs.
That is
well, I
always
mean,
me.
I'm probably only go another. I'm only going to go another half hour myself because I gotta get up early for a flight.
Well, I'll see you next week, and good luck traveling tomorrow.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to need it. I'm going to deal with the COVID Gestapo getting back into Canada.
Oh,
I have my papers. But yeah,
well, you boys continue on
bitte.
and have fun.
I will. Yeah,
I
thanks.
got papered. I broke my paper chair. I can't believe it happened in my own lifetime. I got papered in the city. Pay a coffee, please. Papers, please. Oh, it's just to go.
Okay,
Papers,
I'll see you guys. Bye bye.
See
you, Courtney.
I'm breathing on you there. Papers, bitter.
Take care, Courtney.
He
Thanks
has
for
no
joining.
papers. I got hounded out the shop. They set the dogs on me. And yet you can go into any government building and they don't give a fuck. Funny that. Anyway.
Are we the baddies?
I'm right.
I just want to find a particular
take a look in the
album
mirror.
for you. Hang on.
Sorry, that's been your moment of politics, but you know, punk and politics, they kind of go together. Punk makes politics exciting.
Share this
in the
image with you.
government, la la la.
Hang on, see if I can get this to work. So there was a Canadian band called Max Webster. You just got it is with a guitar player called Kim Mitchell, who I've met, and actually he's a radio DJ in Toronto now, but also still tours. Really good guitar player. I just got to share this picture with you because it's wonderful. I don't know why it won't let me share my entire screen. It's ridiculous. Oh, here we go. Right, this is what I want to share. So this is I love this picture. I mean, you gotta have confidence in yourself to dress like this. I find. I mean, how did he get inside that banana?
Yeah, no, I agree. You definitely, you got to have big balls to wear something like that.
And you can see them. But that's Max. The band was Max Webster, but Kim Mitchell's a guitar player, and he's had some great solo albums. One of them had a great song called "Going for Soda." If you ever hear it, it's just really good. In fact, I'll play it on my radio show.
Is the male equivalent of a camel toe like a balloon animal?
That's correct. But yeah, you need confidence to look like that, I think. And this was before he went totally bald. He's totally bald now. I mean, he was really just kidding on there, trying to pretend. You can see it's like 50% gone.
Yeah.
That's Max Webster. But yeah, Kim Mitchell's the guitar player that was on the cover there, and he's a good lad. He's made some great records. And I've seen him live in a little club, and he plays his guitar style. He's kind of Frank Zappa-esque. His solos are very Zappa. You know, he's a really eclectic lead player. So
didn't Steve Vai start out with Frank Zappa?
Yes, he did. Yeah, but I like that quirky, eclectic style. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of Frank Zappa is not necessarily to everybody's taste, but he did so much stuff. And the stuff, I love Hot Rats. Have you ever heard that album? Frank Zappa album, Hot Rats. It's been a more straightforward rock album. He does the song Willie the Pimp, just the most ferocious lead guitar.
I might know that one. The first album by Zappa I listened to was Joe's Garage.
Oh yeah, it's good. Love that. Is that the one with Catholic girls? Or was that Shake Your Booty? I can never remember. A great title, Shake Your Booty. He's dressed on an Arab.
Guys.
Yeah.
So I'm just randomly going through a couple of CDs as you were talking, and here's one for the hipster. It's a double hipster move. This is no segue, sorry, but this is basically definitely a great hipster album, great chill out album. Saint Etienne,
Alpha.
Fox Space Alpha.
Yeah.
Nice and relaxed. Kind of very good springtime music, if there's such thing. But London in the springtime. But then I thought, what if there was a parallel universe where there was an alternative version of the album called Fox Space Beta that only existed in the other universe? Wouldn't that be weird?
Mind
that is
blown.
proof of a multiverse right there.
There you go. Plucked, not available in this universe, but proof the other universe exists from the big timeline, Fox-based beta. How did that happen? Check out my forthcoming script and find out.
So how did you manage to pluck that from the other universe?
I
though?
literally pulled
Fifth
that from the
force did you
alternate
use?
timeline.
Was it gravity that did it?
It's just the electromagnetic force, actually. But I do recommend from that the remix of "Only Love Can Break Your Heart." Brilliant, which is a great album all round.
Isn't it a Neil Young song?
It is. So that's your segue in. If you like Neil Young and you've never heard of Saint Etienne, if you're more familiar with acoustic than chill out, then that's your bridge in. If they do a great cover,
I like that stuff.
Only Love Can Break Your Heart.
It's very relaxing.
Right.
And yes, stuff. Lord Thoth, springtime in London is a holiday.
It should be, shouldn't it?
Yeah. It was on a Wednesday last year.
Hey, Carol's Cookies.
Hey, Carol. Thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate everyone that's in the chat. Thank you for coming to watch my musings. Excuse me. I'll never get back into Canada now. I'm coughing. So yes, it's lovely you're all joining me as I'm sitting in a hotel room. So I'm impressed by your fortitude and your 50tude.
Nice.
And some of your 60tude too. Patio Lanterns, bingo. That's the one. Patio Lanterns, great song. Kim Mitchell, brilliant song.
Oh, nice.
Patio Lanterns. Zax knows it. Yeah, good man. Yeah, and on the same album as that, I think was can't remember the name of the album now. I've got so many, but was the song Go for Soda, which has got brilliant guitar work in it. And it's about having a soda instead of drinking, because I think he had a drink problem and had to give up.
Oh yeah,
that's how he got into the yellow clothing, I guess. Drink problem.
That's why I don't dress like that anymore.
That's right. I couldn't get in that. Hey, so I don't know. I feel like playing. Did you hear when I played Hootsmon earlier?
Hootsmon? No. Was that at the very beginning?
Yeah, you missed it.
Oh,
yeah,
I missed it.
It's time to play Lord Rockingham's 11 again, so be prepared. Let's see your dance. Come on. Let's face what I said, Trevor. Small, awesome. It's dropping all over the screen.
Oh, that's where you get that praise.
Isn't that just the greatest? I mean, come on. That's
nice.
And the captain, I'm pretty sure that that's probably when somebody presses your doorbell at home that music plays.
Yeah, full length version as well. If they go away by the time it ends, they weren't determined enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a #1 hit in the UK in 1958, and it may even have been a hit in America. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think they were really Scottish, but
I'm not familiar with it, but immediately it's a win. It's in my brain already. I'm chasing the
awesome.
train. I was in the reverie.
It's a jam.
Rockingham's 11.
And that expression, I always wonder where it came from because that's like your AFK message on Discord.
Yes, that's. Well, I don't know whether the song came before the phrase or the phrase came in the song. But I'm pretty sure I've only ever heard anybody in that song saying it. Like, no, it's a Brobrich Moonlicht nicht the Nicht, people say, but Hootsmon, there's a moose loose about this hoose. Not so sure if that's in common parlance.
It is
and
now.
thank you, Courtney. Sorry, Captain. Go ahead.
No, that's it. It is in parlance now. And
yeah,
thank you,
but
Courtney.
I just love stuff like that. I love it. Like the Andy Stewart I played last week. The Donald, Where's Your Trousers?
Oh, that was a jam.
That's epic. These little gems that you can pluck from the past, So, luckily,
you can make a whole channel out of that.
I could. Some of this stuff's going to get played in my radio show when I get back home. So, in fact, I'm going to spend some time on the plane tomorrow building some playlists. So, I do have a couple of other things I just wanted to mention. If you guys would bear with me.
Such a turn of phrase, this guy. He's going to go places.
Hang on. So, I do like gaming. I do game. I consider myself somewhat of a gamer, even though I'm the oldest person on Earth. So I did play Horizon Zero Dawn, and like every game I play now, I wait till it's been out for months and I buy it for cheap, because quite frankly, I don't think they deserve $80 for a game, anybody, and I don't pre-order. Yeah, I don't pre-order stuff, and I wait till I get trusted reviews and so on and so on. And I was a bit right. Horizon Zero Dawn. Other than Lara Croft, I don't particularly enjoy playing games as a young girl. So it kind of put me off for a while, but in the end, I caved, and I actually found it to be a really good game. I love the world that they built and the graphics, and I did like the fact that even though it's quite, hey, here I'm woman, hear me roar, should have a strong father figure in it and whatever. And I like the Lance Reddick character and the story with that. So did enjoy the game mechanics. So I'm kind of looking forward to the follow-up, Horizon Forbidden West. So I don't know if anyone else has played Zero Dawn or anybody in the chat. I think I might give Forbidden West a bit of a spin. Might give it a chance, but not right now. I'll wait till it's been out for a while because all the bugs get ironed out then, or some of them. So.
Yeah, you gotta wait until those those patches.
That's right. Never play day one. I don't pre-order. No. I don't get special editions. I don't do any of that. But I did find in the end that I loved the mechanics of the game and I loved the look of the world. I mean, it did get a bit like all these games, gets a bit repetitive eventually. So
I have Cyberpunk 2077. It was pre-ordered for me by my girlfriend, so I have the day one version for PS4.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry, for Xbox One. So, which I think is like the worst, buggiest version.
Mm.
But they have they patched it somewhat now. But.
Well, yeah, but I think the disappointment from because I wanted to get Cyberpunk 2077, having been a huge Witcher 3 fan, particularly, and I think it's not so much the bugs that have put me off even today. It's the fact that they didn't deliver all the story and RPG elements that they said they would.
Right.
So they made it a lot more linear in terms of you could pick your whatever style of character, but at the end it all seemed to be quite linear. People were saying that Yeah, you said you were a corporate, or you said you were an outlaw, or whatever, but they all ended up at the same point. That wasn't really meant to be the case. I think it was meant to be much more, choice driven, and the choices did make an impact, because that's in The Witcher 3 they do.
Right.
So CD Projekt Red screwed up big style there.
Yeah, it was too ambitious, and they made huge promises years before, because I think they started planning it before even Witcher 3. And they made a number of promises, most of which they didn't deliver on. But
That's right.
It's the kind of thing, because they wanted to have it, so open, so many options, so much freedom, and they wanted the graphics to be so good. They just didn't have the time to do it, and was they probably should have worked up to it.
Yeah, and I think they did all the things that, as a game studio, that they said they would never do. They crunched their guys, they cut stuff, they showed video footage instead of in-game footage, etc., etc. All the things that CD Projekt Red said they wouldn't do, which kind of disappointed me. I mean, if you're going to do that, just own up to it then, Anyway, so Horizon Forbidden West could be pretty good. I'll wait for the reviews. Wait for a while.
All sorts of teams see how to thee.
Yes, Salty's here. I met a gentleman that I met, Corey, when I was in Austin.
Yeah.
One of the guys I've met. Yeah, it's one of our YouTube fellowship that I've met in person in Austin there. Great guy. It was a real pleasure to meet him. Can't wait till the next get together so we can do that again. The other thing I'm kind of keen on, though, is this Elden Ring, which is going to be out in a few days.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is interesting, because this is the game that George R.R. Martin's been working on, I think, instead of writing books.
For how long? 30 years? What's
Yeah,
it called?
instead of writing books, he's been working on this. So, yeah. Oh, a distraction. Great. That's just what I needed. So the director of this game saying we don't. Now, I think these are the same guys that did Dark Souls, possibly.
Yep, and Bloodborne and
Bloodborne.
Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah, and they're saying, which is actually, that was a good game. We don't make games hard for the sake of it. We want players to enjoy overcoming challenges. Well, as a man who never dies in games and plays everything on insanity level, I appreciate that. Because, the harder they make them, the better.
Right. And that is the appeal of their games, and that's always been true. But, I've read so many like BioWare articles and quotes that when I read something like that, I'm immediately skeptical. That when they make a promise like that, I'm worried that they're going to do the opposite.
Possibly. Now, I may just have lied about me never dying in games, but,
There's no shame in that.
Well, you just have to look at my game streams, you would know. But yeah, so George R.R. Martin praises Elden Ring as looking incredible, unlike his latest book.
I only play 2 games, and I just can't break that cycle.
Yeah, what do you like? What games were those?
Basically, I'm PS4, Grand Theft Auto 5, and phone, Call of Duty Mobile. Or actually, iPad Mini, Call of Duty Mobile. The perfect gaming experience. It just doesn't get any better.
iPad Mini? Is that like a phablet?
Yeah, well, I like to think of it as a big phone. That's how big I like the phone to be. So, but that's what they call it. For me, it's the iPhone huge in my head.
So people play games on iPads?
Yep, it really works.
Other than Candy Crush.
My personal chemical, brain makeup is my go-to gaming experience, and also because it's online, I know I'm playing against other humans. So when I'm carrying around that M60 and blasting them in the chest till they're lying there in a pool of their own blood and vomit and piss, that's a real person on the other end.
Isn't that real life in New Zealand?
Well, I can't say for legal reasons. Peace and love, everyone. Everyone's got a different opinion, haven't they? Team of 5 million, come on. Pass the blunt, Jacinda. Don't front. You had it for a minute, but it seemed like a month.
I think James Blunt was who was playing to get the protesters out.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, we don't need James Blunt. We need a fat Blunt. But apparently only Jacinda's allowed because she's above the law, like Kamala Harris.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah. If you ain't been put in prison for smoking weed, you ain't black. Sorry, by me, says Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Carol's Cookie said she'd light you up, Captain.
She would light you up in COD.
Not your
COD
joint, but
Cockney,
in Call
'cause
of Duty.
COD Cockney is what you could be called.
And look out for me. I'm War Daddy 0000. I'll take all you fuckers on. I'll even tell you what I roll with.
Comment past you there,
I roll with an M60 and close up. I like the dagger.
They don't like the dagger up them though.
They don't fucking like it up, do they? When you sneak up them. Oh, sorry, didn't see you there. Stab, stab, stab. Anyway, moving on. Back to the M60. Oh, look, it's a helicopter. Time for the rocket launcher. Boom. Goodbye, Taliban Air Force.
So.
Anyway, back to the music.
No, well, actually, I
Let
was thinking
the bodies hit the floor.
I was toying with playing another tune, but this time it's a proper tune. If I can get away with playing the video without being shut down.
Uh-oh.
Because I am probably gonna, as I say, gonna have to wrap up in about 10 minutes, guys. Because I probably do have to get some sleep before I get up at the crack of dawn. So I'm going to play another tune, if you don't mind, before that. And the reason I'm going to play this one is because I played a couple of funny Scottish things. So I'm going to play a more proper one of my favourite songs of all time. And I'm just looking for it on my share video file.
Salty says a proper tune? Does it come with a pint?
It does. It actually comes. It's filmed partly in a pub, so it does have pints. So there's a band you'll know called the Proclaimers, a duo called the Proclaimers. 500 Miles and all that, you know. Various soundtracks, but there's more. Being back in Scotland, there's a song of theirs called "Sunshine on Leith," which is filmed in parts of Edinburgh that I spent a lot of my younger days, and it's one of my favourite songs of all time. And I thought, what the hell, I'm going to play it as my farewell to Scotland for this trip. So I hope you don't mind indulging me in this. So here we go. Port area, Leith, Sunshine on Leith, Proclaimers, beautiful, beautiful song. Gorgeous song, and also the chosen song of the football team I used to support, Hibernian Football Club. Anyway, thank you for indulging me playing that.
Yeah, thank you for playing that. That was lovely.
It's beautiful. I love that song. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Nice.
And I kind of like the fact that they always sing in their real, normal Scottish accents. They didn't feel they had to put on any voices, like everyone used to sing like they were American in the old days. Anyway, good song indeed. Thank you for sticking with me there. So, gentlemen, I am going to unfortunately wrap things up just for my own health purposes and get some bloody sleep before
get some shut-eye
before these bloody flights tomorrow. So, Captain, my friend, I'm going to make you bigger. I'm making you bigger.
You beast. Thanks for having me on.
What are you up to these days? Yes, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And we're going to do, I'm plotting, you and I and Darius, if he wishes to, we're going to do an existential reality show, I think, at some point.
Yes. In fact, that's all I want to advertise. Just that. Three of us talking about reality. That's heaven on a stick. See
so
17 Rock Fan for further details.
We will plan that for within the next couple of weeks, I think. I think it's something that needs to be done.
That it's about that time. Let's tackle what the fuck is going on. Are we just part of Darius's great dream? Find out in a week's time.
I think we are. We're figments of Darius's nightmare imagination.
That was the conclusion I reached on my show last night. I did used to believe in consensual reality, but now I think we're all just part of. There's nothing I know that Darius doesn't know. Therefore, we are part of Darius's great dream. There's a greater than 0% chance this is the case, folks. Sorry.
Yes, more than 1 in a billion.
Yep.
So what else are you up to, sir? Anything you want to plug?
Oh, usual bollocks on the channel, but I'm just doing more guesting because the growth has stagnated. So I'm refusing to do more broadcasts, except when I am. I did one yesterday, but apart from that, it doesn't count. And then the infamous time travel poster And then only because Darth Scipio begged me to do it, the Blade Runner poster, the Blade Runner book, is Deckard a replicant? They can't leave it alone, the fuckers. And then other things, Total Recall, Is It a Dream? Movies, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And so be tit wank. Back to you in the studio. Thanks very much.
Well said, sir. Particularly the Sophie Titwink.
No, the best bit.
And I think the problem with the Blade Runner Deckard as a replicant thing is you will be one day, many years from now, will be lying on your deathbed, and you will have the ultimate revelation about it, and then it'll be too late.
It was this.
That will be so annoying. Darius, my good friend, how are you? Thank you for joining. And what are you up to?
Thank you for having me on again. I'm your friendly neighborhood cyborg cowboy, Darius Munchausen. Don't worry about it, however you pronounce it. I do a show Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. A little bit after my good friend, That 70s Rock Fans show. I've been trying to take advantage of his vacation and get as many subs as I can before he returns and rockets past me to the moon.
It's probably working because I've dropped off a cliff.
No. I foresee great growth in your channel, and you plan everything, and
usually, but it doesn't always work that way. But yes, but you're doing some wonderful chats, sir, and I always enjoy jumping onto your proxy by proxy streams, and especially when we talk about the Dead Boob Society, of course.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I wasn't supposed to talk about the Dead Boob Society, was I? I do want to, but yeah, thanks for coming on, mate. Anything else you wish to promote?
Well, I believe you and I are going to be on Snowdub's Trivia this Saturday.
Yes, I told him that I will be home and ready to rock and roll, so that will be good, and I'm looking forward to kicking your ass.
I suspect you may be right. I volunteer as tribute.
Indeed. I hope toxic means jumping as in just talking over each other and not actually jumping, because that would be uncomfortable for somebody. But yeah, anyway, thanks for coming on, mate. It's always a pleasure, and thank you for your support. I do want to plug one thing of my own. And again, I gotta share this damn screen. I can't wait to get back to my studio with 3 screens. I would like, for those, as you know, I have a humble little channel, That 70s Rock Fan. I would like, if everybody gets the chance and you're interested, to go watch my latest science fiction novel video about the Arkady and Boris Strugatsky's Roadside Picnic. Please, if you get the chance, swing by, take a look at that, and if you like it, leave a thumbs up and a comment. I've only had 16 views on that one, and it's a great book, so I'd like to stimulate a few more people to get into it. So
I watched that right when you uploaded it, and I love that. I spent the whole day thinking about that.
Indeed, and you commented, so thank you. Appreciate that very much. But yeah, these are books. This series of videos I do on science fiction books. These are books that I love. I'm not doing tearing them apart in huge, in-depth analyses or anything. It's just a kind of a taste, and hopefully people will want to pick them up and read them. So,
And this book is what inspired Stalkers, the film?
It did, yes, which is another amazing, crazy film. The book itself is very different, so you get 2 different experiences reading the book and watching the movie. The book is,
there's even a game now.
There is. Well, there's a series of games, and then it also inspired things like Metro and to some extent Fallout, although those are more widely dystopian worlds, whereas in the book, the world itself is mentally challenged by the fact that these aliens arrive and just ignore us, but the actual dystopian part is confined to small zones. It's the world itself is physically unchanged, but in the movie and also in the games, it's a wider impact on the entire physical world. But that's I touch on that a little bit. But anyway, yeah, if you guys, Emily gets the chance to drop by and watch that, that would be great. Thank you. And I will be getting, once I get back home, doing a few more videos on music and collectible music stuff, and we'll plan the reality show, or whatever we're going to call it, with the captain and yourself. I would like to thank very much everyone for being in the chat, and for
That's
those
brilliant. Sorry, the reality
Indeed.
show. You're a genius. That's what it's. Yes, that's it. The reality.
It just came to me.
The reality show. Brilliant.
Yeah. Or is it?
Is this the real life?
It's just for real life.
Or
It's
is
just
it
fantasy. So yeah, thanks to everyone for joining. Toxic Man Flu for dropping in towards the end there. Good to see you, buddy. Zax. Optic Racer. Nice to see you, Optic Racer 21. Carol's Cookies. Always good times to see you. And lovely Sherry. Thanks. You've been doing a lot of wrenching. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just another red shirt who I also met in Austin, which was a great privilege to meet him and his lovely wife. Good to see you, sir, and hopefully that will happen again. And lots of other people were dropping in. Salty Texas Sea, Corey, good man. Apologies if I miss anybody. I'm scrolling back. Courtney, of course, who joined us on the stream. Thank you.
Darth
Martin,
Scipio.
Lord Thoth, Darth Scipio, always good to see you, sir. Zax, Raquel.
Oh, you fucking guys.
Yeah, you guys.
Nerporial life form?
Nerporial, Cosmic Fusion.
Nerporial life form.
Zax, we mentioned. Yeah, they're. Oh, and loads more. I'm
Even
sure
Darth Scipio. Only joking, especially
Eric
Darth
K.
Scipio.
Anono, Mass. The list goes on, and I appreciate you all very much, and the bots too. I appreciate you all, you bastards. Go forth and die. So yeah, thanks everybody. I will see you back in behind the maple curtain at some point. I've seen the Stevie Ray Vaughan statue before, so I didn't go this time. It was purely a trip to meet up with Redshirt and Salty Texas Sea, Matt Foulball, Daniela, the Fav, Jake D was there. We had a great time. And Mr. Grant Gregory. Grant, you missed all the fun. You'll have to watch everything from the start.
Greg.
Mr. Grant Gregory, who's made
Good eye, Mr. Grant
single-handedly
Gregory.
made the koalas endangered. And good job, mate. Good job. Well played. On that happy note, I will say, bid you all farewell, and I'll see you back home. So take care, everybody. And I will find somewhere in this collection of videos an outro.